Hey everyone, this is Whit with Whit's Tutoring Group, and today I'd love to take a second and talk a little bit about my 5 steps for doing Lewis dot structures. So if you're on an exam, quiz, whatever, something calls for you to do a Lewis dot structure, there are 5 steps that I always go through that help me get through any structure. The first thing you need to do is sum all valence electrons. What I mean is go through the chemical compound, count up how many valence electrons there are. Nitrogen has 5 from the periodic table. And then bromine there's 3 bromines, but each one has 7. So we have 5 plus 21 for a total of 26 valence electrons. That's the first step, not too bad. The second step is we need to add valence electrons for every negative charge. And the opposite is true for positive charge. We need to subtract valence electrons for every positive charge that we have. Well, since NBr3 is neutral, we still have 26 valence electrons. Step number 3, I call drawing the skeleton structure. The most important thing for this is picking a central atom. If there's one of something and multiples of other, usually that's in the middle. But if you need a tiebreaker, it's important to note that the least electronegative atom tends to be in the middle. The other thing you need to do for a skeleton structure is connect everything with single bonds for the moment. So what I'm going to do is write N, Br, Br, Br. Now, every covalent bond that I just drew represents 2 valence electrons. So what I've done is I've used up 6 of my 26. Perfect. Now, step number 4. We need to complete octets with lone electron pairs. Not sure what octet means. Think of an octopus. It has 8 feet or 8 legs. An octet means every electron or every atom wants 8 electrons. So what we do, another important note with this step, I suggest starting with your terminal atoms. Not your central one, your terminal ones at the end of the line. So since bromine has 1 covalent bond, it currently has 2 in its possession, but it needs 8. So that's why it needs 6 dots. With this, it now has a full octet. Every bromine needs 6 dots. So right now we have 2 left over. Now let's look at our central nitrogen. It currently has 6 electrons in its possession. So it needs 2 more dots for a full octet. And everything has a full octet, and we have 0 valence electrons left over. So right now, if everything has a happy octet, we're done. But there's definitely going to be some times where you run into problems where you don't have a happy octet right off the bat. If you have too few valence electrons, what I mean is we've run out of electrons before everything has a happy full octet. That means we need to add more bonds. Now, on a rare occasion that you have too many valence electrons, this is what we call an expanded octet. You see, elements that are on the 3rd row or below, such as sulfur, phosphorus, chlorine, selenium, iodine, all of those, when they're in the center, can handle more than 8 electrons. But since everything's happy, we have our correct Lewis dot structure currently. Let's do another one. If I wanted to do the Lewis dot structure of N3O-, it's called nitrate. First thing I would need to do, sum up all the valence electrons. We got 5, 3 times 6. So that's 5 plus 18. That's 23 valence electrons. Well, step number 2. Nitrate has a negative charge. So we need to add a valence electron. Remember, electrons are inherently negative, so in order to give it a negative charge, it needs an extra, a surplus of electrons. Boom, 24 valence electrons. 3, the skeleton structure. We're going to assume that the nitrogen is in the middle because there's only one of them. N, O, O, O. And using electrons for 3 covalent bonds, I've used 6 of my 24. Step number 4, I need to complete octets. I'm going to start with my outer atoms, my terminal atoms. And I've run out of valence electrons. The problem, nitrogen is not happy. We need to go to step 5, and we need to add more bonds. Now, since we are 2 electrons short, we only need 1 covalent bond. So we kind of go back to the drawing board. I get rid of all my dots, and we re-examine this. All right. Now, some of y'all might be picking up. We need to add another bond. There are 3 places we could put this. That is a huge indicator that we have resonance structures. But we're not going to go into that in this video. As of right now, we kind of go back to step number 3. We have used 8 electrons for all my covalent bonds. So we now have 16 valence electrons to delegate and give out. This oxygen still needs 6, but now this oxygen just needs 4. Minus 4. And is my nitrogen already happy? Yes. It has 4 covalent bonds, 8 electrons. Everything has a happy octet. So now we are done. That is what happens when we need to add more bonds. Perfect. I'm going to stop the video here. I hope that was helpful. And if you're having any trouble with Lewis dot structures, hopefully this guide and my 5 steps for doing Lewis dot structures will be helpful. Have a good one.